Good morning. Oh my goodness, it's time. It's time. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I still have energy from last week. Listen, family, I'm Evangelist Melonie Pichon, and sharing and hosting with me today is none other than my comrade in battle. Now he's turned to be the most awesome pastor there is in the St. Bernard and surrounding areas. I have Bishop Henry Ballard Jr. Thank you so much. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm excited to be here to speak with you and your viewers.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm ready.
So speaking of viewers, listen, we need you to hop on over to my YouTube channel. And then those of you who are viewing by Facebook or Facebook Live, Periscope, you got to just definitely stop what you're doing and make your way to this set right now. Now is the season for you to get help for the healing that you need. You know, healing starts once you get the help.
Yeah.
Healing is just not healing because it's the word. I think you have to get the help before you get the healing. And I think our guest today, he's anointed to do just that. You all know that I am an advocate book reader. You know, I just live to read, and I read to live, I would imagine. But today we're going to be talking about Bishop Ballard's book, A Remedy for a Sick Heart.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, family, I'm telling you, this book, phenomenal, is life-changing. But let me give you this caveat. Let me give you this warning. If you're not ready to change from where you are to get to where you want to be, don't even bother the book, because the book is going to literally challenge you to deal with your heart before you go forward. And so we're going to get right into it. What caused you to I can't even say right, because it seems like it's something that you mostly lived, because it's so honest. But how did you start with the title, A Remedy for a Sick Heart?
Well, really, it was birthed out of two things: conversation and observation.
Wow, CO.
Conversations, because people that I pastor, people that I counsel and coach, just hearing where they were.
Wow.
And then observations in my own life, just those that are close to me, knowing that all of us go through relational challenges.
Yes, we do.
So it was really birthed out of that. Mel, I was actually working on a project for someone else, and I was supposed to give it to them one morning, and they canceled, so I had free time. And I got up on a Monday and stayed and worked at the house. And from Monday to Friday, I just wrote.
Yes.
And that's
for such a time
birthed.
as now. But listen, to my Christian fellowship family, you better say something to your pastor. I've already told y'all he was going to be here. I need you to send him some hearts, send some loves, let him know that you're here. But I know this is no strange thing to you. But I'm telling you, Christian family, this right here is about to be catapulted to the nations. So you may as well love him on this local level, because he's going to be in a different time zone from us. Let's just get into the book, A Remedy for a Sick Heart. I was not really ready for what I read in chapter 1. Chapter 1 had me right here. It's in your face, dealing with you. There are no fingers to point. It's all about you. You have all of the leeway to begin to get your heart right. Let's talk about a heart right. We're talking relationships. We're talking about disappointments. We're talking about failed marriages, successful marriages, failures in school. And it encompasses just everything.
Well, we don't live in a vacuum, Mel. We live life.
Yes.
You know, and that's where we have to look for the answers. I've kind of stolen a phrase from someone. I didn't say this so much that I own it now.
You own it. He got it.
But you know, John 10:10. Jesus didn't say, "I've come that you might have church." He said, "I came that you might have life."
Thank you, Jesus.
We have learned how to do church well.
Yes.
But it is in life that we find ourselves with these struggles and issues and hang-ups and all that we deal with. So that's what we have to work through.
Wow. So in chapter 1, you talk about desires and expectations. And I wasn't ready. I thought I had it going on. I was not ready. So the one thing you said is sometimes you do not share the same outlook on all matters. And that's so key, because in my mind, I'm thinking one thing and I'm thinking he or they, because it's not always relationship.
Right.
I'm thinking they automatically know what I'm thinking because I'm thinking it.
Right.
And so you said something, you gave us two categories, and that's what I want you to really talk about, the unrealistic category and the unspoken, and that one right there.
Well, in the book, when I deal with unrealistic, I view anything that Scripture endorses as realistic.
Right, that's good.
I believe that when we get beyond that, we go into the realm of what could be unrealistic. But I make a point in the book that just because you don't have a frame of reference for something, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's unrealistic.
Wow.
It just means that you grew up a different way.
I did. Sometimes I wonder where did I grow up.
My wife and I have this standing joke that we come from two different families, raised two different ways, and I think her family crazy. She thinks my family's the mafia. You know, and here's why, and I need to explain that before our families.
I'll just tell them, because we have a gathering soon.
But no, the thing about it is, one example, if we travel, Zena and I can go somewhere, and Zena would tell her family, hey, we're leaving, talk to you when I get back.
Right.
That's not how I was raised. I'm watching the luggage go around the carousel, and I'm saying to my family, we made it, we're safe. When we get to the hotel, I'm going to call you, and everything like that. So just different.
It's different.
Different.
Wow.
And so not right, not wrong,
just different.
but different.
Yeah.
But if we don't go in understanding that, then we vilify a person based upon their upbringing.
So good. So we when I read the book, I interpreted to mean that if we don't deal with the unrealistic and the unspoken, the relationship has just crashed.
Yes.
It's just not even there. So you talked about it, and it's on page 16. Yeah. You got it. Can you put the information up where you can order the book, because I'm a giver, but I ain't giving this one up. So on page 16, you were talking about expressing unspoken desires and expectations. If you would just dive into that about and I think it had a lot to do with the ineffective communication. That's really my downfall.
Well, I'll do that by referencing what's on page 17. So they have to get the book.
You have to.
But I'll state it. Unspoken expectations are nothing more than premeditated resentments.
Oh my gosh.
But think about it. When we talk about a premeditated crime, we talk about something that has been planned out, thought about, and then carried out. Rehearsed. And then I'm going to get away with it, then carried out. Premeditated. Well, when we have unspoken expectations,
oh my gosh,
that's nothing more than premeditated resentment, because if it is unspoken, it cannot be fulfilled.
Wow.
And we can't assume that the other person knows how we're feeling or what we need. My wife and I went through, this is years later, and this would speak to an unspoken expectation.
Yes.
She handles the money. That just keeps our
Lady Ballard is a woman after my heart.
Handles the money. But I get a little change every night.
Sure you do. She break you off a piece.
But there was a situation to where we were paying for Jeremy to go to college.
Okay.
And seemed like those semesters came around so quick.
Yes.
But I would tell Zena, hey, it's time. She would give me the checkbook. We'll write it out, do that. And I had a plan. I premeditated my plan. Because, I'm doing different things, so I'm saving up some money, waiting for that time to come. Yeah. And the time came, I said, hey, tuition is due. I'm going to need the checkbook. She gave me the checkbook. I gave it back to her. And I said, I got it.
Oh, my gosh.
I got it.
Oh, my gosh.
And so after I did that, she took the checkbook and she went on doing what she was doing. And I stopped. I didn't need balloons to fall.
I got a visual. I
didn't even, now I'm feeling a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
And I didn't even leave the house. I went and sat on the sofa because I'm saying at some point it's going to hit her what I just did.
Yeah.
Didn't. But I had an unspoken expectation that I didn't need the balloons to drop, but it mattered to me that you acknowledged what I just did. And here's what she told me after we went through the whole process. She said, I didn't realize you needed that.
Wow. He's talking to somebody.
Yeah, I didn't realize you needed
who's
that.
about to give up on your relationship, about to give up on your marriage. But could it be not so much as what you said? Could it be what you're not saying? How does the other person know what you need if you don't communicate what you need? I think it's key, it's vital. Again, not even in a marriage, but in daily life.
Yes.
If you would just communicate. And I think technology is fixing it so that we have all the avenues to communicate, but
Yes.
we don't do it. It's still that human thing that you have to do.
Well, you know what, and before we segue to another point, I think part of the problem is we don't communicate it because we have already predetermined what the outcome or response is going to be.
Yeah, and that's unfair. You do know that's unfair.
Yeah.
That's
because
unfair.
I've already protected myself because, hey, if I ask for it, I'm not going to ask for it because here's what they're going to say. But you don't know that.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
So, yeah.
And so that brings the walls up, that brings the barrier. You're talking to me this morning because my walls are sometimes so high and so thick. I remember in meditation, I was like, God, whoever it is, you're going to have to show them how to get the walls down.
Yeah.
Because if I knew how, I'd have them down. But I still have to open up that hole in the front of my face, and I've got to use it. Listen, we haven't even been here long, but it's time to take a quick break. And while we're breaking, I need you to jump on your social media. Tell them, look, you got to get over because Bishop Henry Ballard Jr. is sharing with me on a remedy for a sick heart. We'll be right back. Amazing. See how quick the first 15 minutes already?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, I'm Evangelist Melonie Pichon. Listen, I'd like to invite you to view our Forgiven Talk Show every Thursday from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time until 12 noon. We talk about issues. We talk about challenges. We talk about those things really that other folks don't want to talk about. Listen, if you want to talk about something, if you want to give us some suggested ideas, comment below and we'll do our best to get at you. Remember, every Thursday from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time until 12 noon, the Forgiven Talk Show.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
We're coming back. Listen, we're going to jump right back in.
Yes.
I'm Evangelist Melonie Pichon, and again, hosting with me is Bishop Henry Ballard. And family, we've been talking about his book, A Remedy for a Sick Heart, and I'm telling you, it is just the epitome of the starting point for healing. And I think, Bishop Ballard, if you would read the book for self and don't point any fingers, I think that's the biggest key that would start. Look how good you look. There's Bishop Ballard. It's the starting point to just get it right. I want to jump over really quick to chapter 3. We don't want to give you the entire book because you have to get it. But in chapter 3, you're talking about to change a relationship, you've got to change yourself.
Yes.
And that part right there is the mirror. That's the mirror. I quoted one of them that says, when the pain of staying becomes greater than the pain of leaving. Could you just help me with that? I think you told me a story during the break.
Yeah, we all experience pain.
Yeah.
No doubt. I mean, we do. But when we're experiencing the pain, we have to decide that, is this pain greater than the pain of changing or leaving or whatever the dynamic is?
Yes.
And sometimes, although we talk about how much pain we're in and how we're hurting, are we really? The story that I told you was just quick about a man who's sitting on the porch with his dog, and the dog is howling, just barking. And somebody comes by and hears the dog, and they don't understand why this dog's just sitting there. No cars are passing, they're barking. So he goes and he does, and he has to stop. Ask the old man, why is this dog making all this noise? The old man said, that's simple, because it's laying on a nail. And the man had to ask, well, why don't he get off the nail? And the old man said, well, maybe he's not hurting bad enough.
Wow. He's talking to somebody this morning.
Yeah.
It's time for you to get off the nail. The pain that you're experiencing, it's self-inflicted. It's not necessarily because something on the exterior is causing you to feel like you're feeling, but could it be that the starting point for healing is to get up off the nail? You know, I like that.
And it starts with changing ourselves, as the chapter says. I had to come to this realization. My life would change when I change.
Yes, so true.
My life would get better when I got better.
That's where I'm living, yes indeed.
Because it's easy to point the finger and say it's because of this person, that. Eventually you're going to run out of fingers.
Exactly.
And you, as you just alluded to, you have to look in the mirror and say, what is it about me that I need to change? Because when I change, then everything around me has to change. And most importantly, if we're in a relationship and I change, because we all know this, you can't change nobody but you.
You cannot.
But if I change, even if you decide that you don't want to make the necessary changes for you because I changed, now how you deal with me has to change because you're not dealing with the same person.
Absolutely. It's time to change. Get off the nail. It is time to change. You have been dreaming, you have been hoping, you've been wishing and waiting. Get up off the nail and start to change. And I think you referenced Romans 12:2.
Oh, yes.
Talk about that transform for me.
You know, Romans 12, where it talks about be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So, of course, renewal happens when we start changing our mind, or transformation happens when we start renewing our mind. But I actually did some research, Mel, on what we call transformation. Of course, the word is metamorphosis, and the easy reaching example is the butterfly.
The butterfly, yes.
So I did some research on the caterpillar's journey to being a butterfly.
Oh my gosh.
And sometimes we think that the caterpillar nature in and of itself changes, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Here's how I'm helped when I think about it to understand it, that it is in the caterpillar's nature to fly. It is. But it can't fly unless it goes through the process.
You better come on, Bishop. You better come on. You're missing the
nature.
Process. You're missing your process.
But watch this. We fight the process.
Yes, we do. Guilty. We do.
I'm guilty if I go years ago as a little boy growing up in the country, that we would see a cocoon hanging.
Me too.
And we would be curious. We'd pull that cocoon or break or mess whatever. But watch this. The reality is this, that the transformation process is aborted whenever the cocoon stage is disturbed.
That's right.
And if we have, if we're, let's talk relationally or just individually. If we're supposed to be in our cocoon stage,
oh my gosh,
leaving our caterpillar stage
Bishop.
on our way to our butterfly stage, but we're in process.
Oh God, oh God.
If we allow people or even of our own doing to disturb the process, we can't get to the butterfly
you really can't.
stage.
You can't. And so that he's speaking to a family who's looking and listening, and you're ready to fly, but you're not ready to go through the process. Even the aircraft cannot take off until it sits right there on the runway, go through all of the calibration checks, wait until the signal is lit and say, okay, now it's time to fly. We want to fly before we go through the process, but process hurts.
It hurts. It hurts.
It's dark. It's lonely.
Yes.
You feel neglected. You feel forgotten about. You know, it's almost as if you're placed on the shelf and, you know, the Lord is like turned his face, but at the same time, he's working that thing.
He's working it and he's moving.
And moving.
Here's how I like to put it. Scripture would bear this out. God does some of his best work in the dark.
In the dark. In the dark.
It was at midnight.
Oh my gosh.
That Poland
Come
silence
on,
sprayed.
Bishop. In the third part of the jail. The lowest part. The lowest part.
But here's what I like. You know the story in Kings about the 4 leprous men?
Oh yeah, why sit we here?
Why sit we here? But watch this. They said, we're going to get up. But here's what the scripture says, that it was at twilight that they moved. But at twilight, when they decided to move, God had already moved over here. Now, here's the point. It was at twilight. While they were moving over here, God was moving over here, and they didn't even see it. But God moved.
Yes.
And you know, I'm saved.
Yeah, he really is.
I am saved. I am saved. But you know, I have to go ludicrous on them sometimes.
Yeah.
When you move, I move just like that.
Just like that.
And God is saying to somebody that it's your move.
It's your move.
You know, a lot of times we think, I'm waiting on God.
God's
God's
waiting
on you.
Yes.
It's your move.
And we go back to those 4 leopards. I like, they moved against the odds.
Yes.
What have I got to lose? If we sit here, we're going to die. If we get up, we're going to die.
Yeah.
So you know what? Opportunity had already presented itself.
Yes.
So when there's an opportunity, that's not the time to say, okay, God, what do you want me to do? I remember in Exodus when Pharaoh was coming upon the children of Israel, and Moses went back to talk to the Lord, to pray, and the Lord was saying, what are you talking to me for? We've had this conversation. I already told you that I will harden Pharaoh's heart. It's Exodus chapter 14. I will harden Pharaoh's heart. Pharaoh is going to come after you. So in the cocoon stage, I've already given you your instructions. I've already told you what's going to happen. When there's a crack of daylight, an opportunity presents itself, you've got to go for it. Now, it's still scary. It's kind of frightening, but it's time. And what do you do with your time? We're getting ready to go to a new season on the 21st. What are you going to do? You're going to bring the old season into the new season? No. We've got to change. And there's some things.
But here's the thing. You don't, as you just said, not bringing the old into the new. You learn from it.
That's your platform.
Not live in
That's
it.
Right.
Another interesting
That's a hashtag. You learn from it, not live in it.
Another
that is
interesting
awesome.
thing. There was a study done about the caterpillar, the butterfly, the moth. And the study suggests that the butterfly, although it went through the transformation, the butterfly still remembers what it learned as a caterpillar.
Yes.
It's no longer a caterpillar.
No, I'm not that,
But it still remembers what it learned. You can come out of a situation and be free and flying, but don't forget the lessons that you learned while you were as a caterpillar or going through the cocoon stage.
If not, then that's when you'll be, as the scripture talking about, a dog returning to its vomit. You've already gone through that phase. So why relive it? Learn from it, use it as your platform, build on it, and keep on going. You talked, I said, we're still in chapter 3. We're still in chapter 3. We've got a few more minutes, but you talked about 3 elements, and we want to talk about that. You know, I call it the WUK. Walk. You know, in the military, we have acronyms for everything. You talked about wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. And I think you based it on Proverbs. I think
Proverbs 24,
all right.
verse number 3.
Talk to us about that. With
This may spill over into the next segment, but listen.
We got time.
Listen. Proverbs 24 and 3. It says, "Through wisdom is a house built, and by understanding it is established, and by knowledge it is filled with all pleasant and precious riches."
My gosh.
Wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. So I like the Amplified Bible on that because it says, "Through wisdom is a house built." Amplified Bible says, "Through wisdom is a house, a life, a family, a home."
The whole thing.
It's built through wisdom.
Yeah.
I had to reduce this down because I'm a simple person. I need to understand
We
it.
all need that.
Wisdom, understanding, knowledge. Obviously, all three, as Proverbs bears out, comes from God. But think about it. Through wisdom is a house built. A house is built not just when they start driving pylons
Absolutely.
and laying a foundation.
Absolutely.
It is the architect who builds the house before
it's
anybody
built.
starts
Absolutely.
working. So if wisdom builds it, what that says to me is this, that the image, the description, the pattern, the blueprint for my life, my family has already been written by God.
Woo.
So that's my wisdom
Oh
component.
my gosh.
But then now it takes the workers to take the blueprint and start now driving the pylons, doing the hard work. That's understanding. It says it's established through understanding.
Yeah.
So now we had the blueprint. We have now established the building. But then it says knowledge is going to fill it.
Oh my gosh.
So, and that's where I get even in the book where I talk about the 7 areas of living.
Yeah.
Got to get the
one.
book.
I'm just on one.
The 7 areas of living: your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness, your health, your fun, your future, friendships, all of that. But if all those are areas of my life, it's the knowledge and how those areas work according to Scripture.
And how I apply them.
How you apply it and how you need to show up in all of those areas.
Listen, it's almost break time. We're not finished with WUK. We're not done with it. We'll be right back with you. This is Evangelist Melonie Pichon with Bishop Henry Ballard Jr.
Yes.
You went there. You went there. Like the tears were just almost right there. You know, I love television and radio.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Evangelist Melonie Pichon. Listen, I'd like to invite you to view our Forgiven Talk Show every Thursday from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time until 12 noon. We talk about issues. We talk about challenges. We talk about those things really that other folks don't want to talk about. Listen, if you want to talk about something, if you want to give us some suggested ideas, comment below and we'll do our best to get at you. Remember, every Thursday from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time until 12 noon, the Forgiven Talk Show.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot. And better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on a golf course that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned in to New Orleans Talk Network.
I'm Evangelist Melonie Pichon. I'm glad you tuned in and I'm glad you stayed with us because we have hosting with us today Bishop Henry Ballard Jr. Let me tell you, he'll tell you the rest, but before the break, we were talking about wisdom, understanding, and knowledge as it applies to changing and transforming your life. And so we left off with you talking about through wisdom, the house is built, and then you were talking about understanding, but could you just close it up with knowledge to fill it?
Yeah. The knowledge to fill it, it really amounts to this. You can't do what you don't know.
Wow. Wow.
And you know, old school is when you know better.
You do better.
You do better.
Yeah.
You know, but we said this in one of the previous segments. You have to be willing to acknowledge what you don't know.
You gotta own it, yeah.
You know, what you don't know.
Yeah.
And not be afraid to ask for help.
Because what you don't know really could hurt you, huh?
On page 39, in that same section with the wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, I wrote this. We will deal with symptoms rather than addressing and altering the underlying issues of the symptoms. And a lot of times it's because we don't want to face what's there.
Take the Band-Aid off.
And we don't want to look at it and know, I don't know this. I don't know how to do this. Zena and I were on vacation in Lake Tahoe years ago, and we were just passing through these little shops, and there was a rack of buttons, you know, the little buttons that have the sayings. And she was over in another area, and I saw a button. I had to call her over to look at it. The button said, "Don't solve my problem. I enjoy medicating the symptoms."
Oh my gosh. Oh my
and how many of us, even if unspoken, we enjoy medicating the symptoms as opposed to getting to the root of the problem. And I think the knowledge piece pushes us to the root of the problem. Here's what I need to know to get where I'm trying to get to.
So it takes me, if we were to do this, when we come to the altar, and we get a solution for the pollution, if we would take the ingredients and go back to the local houses or your community and do what you were told to do at the altar, you may be going back to the altar, but it wouldn't be for the same thing.
Right.
So we're just coming there. Right. We're going to the altar just to get just another, God's going to bless you, God's going to keep you if you hold on to him. Then we go back. But you got to actually, okay, if God's going to keep me, if I hold on to him, then I need to be doing the holding on part so that he can do his part.
We live it every day, you know, or at times in our lives. If a pharmacist gives you a prescription, there's going to be some instructions on that bottle.
Absolutely.
Don't take on an empty stomach.
Yes.
Take 3 times a day.
Yeah. Guilty.
And the one that I always like, and you have to take it all.
Take it all. complete this entire bottle.
No. You mean after I get halfway through the bottle
Oh, you
and
start
start
feeling
feeling
good.
and start feeling better, that I don't have?
No,
That's why
can't
we got a
talk
whole
about
medicine
it.
cabinet
Wow.
full of stuff
That's why.
with expiration dates.
I do, yeah.
No, we were supposed to
Yeah,
take it all.
take it all.
Because this is powerful, Mel. Because when you get halfway through the bottle, it has only dealt with. I'm no pharmacist. I'm no medical person.
Go there.
But it has dealt with and addressed some of the surface and immediate issues right underneath the surface.
Yes.
But they want you to take it all because it got to get to the root.
Get to the root. Got to get to the root.
And so what you were saying was we're coming to the altar, not always for the same thing,
Right.
but we can find ourselves coming for the same thing if when we get the prescription,
We don't take it all.
we don't take it all.
We don't take it all.
And we don't act on the knowledge
God.
that we have been given.
I love it. I love it. Listen, this was just an overview of chapter 3. It goes deeper, but I gotta hop to chapter 4 because at the end, there's some intriguing questions. I'm actually getting a counseling session, and the whole world is getting ready to watch it. But in chapter 4, it starts on page 41.
Yes.
Family, you just got to get the book. You just, for those of you who just tuned in, this book is called A Remedy for a Sick Heart. The information is on your screen. I challenge you. Don't get one, get 3. That way you have one in the car, you have one on the job, and you have one at the house because you need it everywhere.
Yes.
But in chapter 4, you talked about the hope strategy.
Yes.
And of course, we're both military people, so we strategize everything.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think I'm trying to become a civilian, but I strategize everything.
Yeah.
Like setting up, getting ready for this. Okay, I need to do this. What if that doesn't work? That doesn't work.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
necessarily a bad thing, but the way the Lord allowed you to break down the hope strategy. The first thing I want you to do is just give us the acronym, because we're military. We have acronyms for everything. What does HOPE stand for?
Honesty, optimism, planning, and evaluation.
If that's not military, if that's not getting ready to go into the combat box,
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
Yes,
But we want to talk about it. Your strategy, it's a form of a guide that helps us with the twists
Yes.
and the turns. And I'm talking specifically now relationships.
Yes.
It's phenomenal. Let's talk about the honesty portion.
It's really a framework. So if you understand how a framework actually functions, the honesty prepares you and undergirds the optimism. The optimism enables you to put together a plan. And then once you have that plan in place, the fourth part of the framework is that you have to evaluate it. So honesty. How can I say this? We just got to get real.
Yeah.
It's got to get real.
Yeah.
Here's the good, the bad, the ugly. Here's what's happening.
Yeah.
Here are, a lot of times we lead with feelings.
Yeah.
I don't downplay feelings. I believe that they need to be unpacked. But I start with, what are the facts?
Facts. Yeah, just the facts.
Just the facts. What are the facts?
Yeah.
I know how you feel, but what led to you feeling that way? What's going on? What's happening? Let's be honest about
I'm inclined to say because feelings, those are emotions. The enemy has access to our emotions. Facts has everything to do with you're built on the substance of the word.
Yes.
The enemy can't deal with facts.
Yes.
So it's easier to oh me, oh my with the feelings. And I'm talking especially to women since I am a woman. We can get in our feelings, and I preach about that all the time. But sometimes getting in your feelings traps you, so you can't get out and deal with the facts, just the facts. All right, so optimism.
Optimism. So the optimistic part of it is this, because obviously the alternative is I'm going to be in it and just be pessimistic.
Yeah, not me at all. I don't have a problem with that one.
The optimism, if I can go old school, it's sort of like when the old people used to say, as long as there's breath in your body, if God touched the button of nature. So the optimistic part is that you're still in the fight.
Yeah.
But you're not in the fight alone.
Yeah.
that God is in there with you. And the optimism says that with God, all things are possible.
I see this building. I see this building by me being honest and not in my feelings. Then I can have a better outlook,
Yes.
which makes me optimistic.
Yes.
You know, which is why some Christians can look at us when we go through things and we don't look like we're going
Right.
through it,
Right.
because I'm not in my feelings.
Right.
I'm optimistic that this thing right here is just going to lead me to greater and
Yes,
to
yes.
manifestation of what God has for me. But if you're in your feelings, you won't see a positive outcome. There is a positive outcome for the situation that you're in. But if you get out of your feelings and get into the facts, the pure
Yes.
facts, the meat of the word,
Yes.
you will see that better days is right there at the end of your nose.
Well, we'll become consumed with the feelings.
Yeah. Oh, I've been there too.
Okay,
Oh
okay.
me, oh my.
But let's allow the Lord to be our example. Hebrews says, looking unto Jesus, the trailblazer,
Yes,
the
yes,
author
author,
and finisher of our faith. But wait a minute.
Who?
For
the joy
that was set before him,
And so what did he do?
endured the cross,
Oh my God.
despising the shame.
Which means he was not in his feelings.
Not in his feelings.
Not in his feelings.
He was willing, and here's how I like to look at
Oh,
this.
this is so good, family.
He was willing to go through whatever he had to go through
For me.
to get to what he had to get to.
For me. You better take that
Look
personally.
at the focus. The joy that was set before. That's the optimism.
That's optimism.
That I know I have the cross. I know I have to endure it.
That's the facts.
But I'm not focusing on that. I'm lifting my vision to the joy that's set before me.
What do you see?
Yeah.
From where you are now, the situation, the circumstance, the circle that you're standing in, what do you see as it relates to what God has for you?
Yes.
All right, that's our honesty, our optimism. Let's talk about planning.
Planning.
People do not like to plan. I mean, is it the military in us? Because we plan for everything, about everything. And that's not saying God is not real. But you know, you have to have the answers for the what ifs, because both Bishop and myself, we were in leadership positions in the military. So you were, in essence, responsible for people who you led, which is what makes you a great pastor.
Well, look, again, Jesus, when he talked about discipleship, he says, okay, if you're going to become my disciple, here's what I would want you to do. Count the cost.
Count the cost.
Who intends to build
Before counting the cost.
before counting the
Before
cost?
doing that, yeah.
Who puts together, said, I'm going to do this without having a plan to execute it? So the planning side of it says this, and that's where the conversation comes into place, where the questions, you ask the questions, you figure out what a person's desires are, what their expectations are, because that's what you plan around. So I'm putting together a plan that basically says, I'm in this relationship with you. Here's what you're expecting of me. Here's what you desire. But now I need a plan to fulfill that.
Wow. Listen, believe it or not, we got to take our final break. When we come back, we're going to hit up on evaluation, and we got some questions that I think he'll answer for us. We'll be right back. You know how fast that was?
Yeah, it moves.
It's almost like
Hello and congratulations. You have arrived at the second half. I'm your host, Cinder Coleman Miller. Connect with us every Thursday at 10 o'clock a.m. on the New Orleans Talk Network as we discuss issues pertaining to the most exciting and prolific generation of our times, the baby boomers. So for information, resources, and booming entertainment, meet us at the second half, brought to you by the Boomers Lifestyle Network.
I'm living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on a golf course that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are back. We are back. This segment is almost over. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to tell your friends to go to the YouTube channel and type in Melonie Pichon and view today's broadcast, because one look, one peek is just not going to do it. I have with me here Bishop Henry Ballard Jr. Oh my gosh, he's the pastor of the Christian Fellowship Family Worship Center.
Yes.
It's in the Violet, Miro, St. Bernard area. That's an up and coming area. You keep your eyes on it. It's up and coming. 2 locations though in Araby as well, right?
We actually went back to one,
Okay.
just Violet.
Okay,
but
Violet. Okay.
Your next show, I'll talk about what we have coming up.
Yeah, because he is coming back. Because, you know, there's a sequel
Yeah.
to this. There's also some plannings in the works. And you just got to follow Pichon, or you got to follow Bishop Ballard, because this book is not going to stop here. There are talks, there are things in the work that's going to make this an actual forum where you can get in like I am. I'm getting all the answers put in now, but you're going to have that face one-on-one situation with Bishop Ballard where we can get some answers to the challenging segments. So you got to do that. We talked about hope, that hope strategy, and we were wrapping it up with evaluation.
Evaluation, very simple. And it's a phrase, again, that many have heard already. You have to inspect what you expect.
Oh, gosh.
And so the evaluation piece is, after we've put the plan in place, here's what's going to make our relationship better. Here's what I need you to start doing, stop doing, or continue doing.
Oh, my gosh.
Here's what you need me to start doing, stop doing, or continue doing. Now that that's in place, we have to evaluate that. So what I find is, when we don't evaluate, it's easy for people to slip back into old behavior.
It is.
The evaluation says this: we're giving each other permission to check each other when that person sees us
That's
slipping.
great accountability. That's
all
great
it is.
accountability.
That's all
I
it
think,
is.
and that's what we're lacking in the body of Christ. It's accountability. We don't want to be accountable.
Because it's challenging.
It is.
The 3 that I normally reference in relationships is support, encouragement, and accountability.
Absolutely.
You need all 3.
I do.
We like the support. We like
Love,
the encouragement.
Yeah.
But it's the accountability.
Yeah.
But I need you to tell me and be able to tell me.
Yes.
Because in a relationship, if I can't tell Zena, or Zena can't tell me, nobody knows us like we know each other.
Yeah.
You know, if they watch us at church on Sunday, we are who we are. Ain't no putting on. But at the end of the day, in church, you only see what people let you see anyway.
That's right.
But at home.
Oh, boy. When the window is up and you're pulling off the parking lot.
At home. At home.
I love your transparency. Listen, we have been talking, we have been sharing with Bishop Henry Ballard Jr., A Remedy for a Sick Heart. I challenge you, you've got to get the book. You've got to, it's a really good piece of read. You know, I'm not into the deep stuff now because, you know, my mind, I'm here, there. But this, it captivates me. And so in closing, because we've got maybe 5 minutes, there's some questions. The book has some of those in-your-face questions. And since Bishop Ballard, how long have you been pastoring?
Oh, now 21 years.
Yeah, so you've seen and heard it all.
Well, you know, I've seen and heard it all. And as we segue to this, chapter 5 is what I call connecting conversations.
Okay, all right.
And so when I talk about those 7 areas of living, I put intentional questions there in every area.
Yes.
Now, when I counsel, coach, do whatever I do with couples,
Console,
they have to have the book. The questions are not, and I arrived here because my old way of counseling is that we have to have 4 sessions and you gotta do it. I'm not knocking on anybody. If you have something in place and that's what you do and it's effective, do it.
Yeah.
I discovered that I can meet with you 4, 5, 6 times. You're only gonna tell me what you want me to know.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? So I resolved that your answers aren't for me. Your answers are for each other.
Yeah.
So have the conversation. Ask the tough questions around faith.
Yes.
Are we going to the same church?
Yes.
Are you leaving your church and coming to mine, or am I going to yours? Am I going to yours, or whatever? You know what that's going to look like. You know, faith. You know, family, because we were raised different.
Yes.
How do you view household chores?
Yes.
How do you view what you call clean?
Housekeeper.
You know, all of those things matter.
Yes, they do.
You know, in terms of the family, and then when you factor the kids in, do we? Is it ours together? Do we have kids from an outside relationship?
Yes.
Are we blending a family?
Yeah.
You know, and so how does that work?
Yes.
And so it's family questions. You know, finances. Here's the one question that I often get about finances.
All right.
Who should handle the money?
Yeah. The smartest one.
Yes.
Okay.
The one that's the best at it.
Smartest one. Yeah.
Not gender specific.
That's right.
Because if I handle the money,
you guys would be
we'll
broke.
be in trouble.
There'd be no vacation.
When we're working on something, all Zena tells me is this: don't touch nothing.
I got it.
Don't ask me.
Yeah,
I got this.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, she's better at it.
I love it. Yes.
She's better
she
at
really
it.
Is.
So that's how we function. So finances. Is it going to be my account, your account, our account?
That's why we need this this forum that we're going to set up, because I believe those questions get looked at, but they're never challenged to be answered. Never challenged.
And the answers are not cookie cutter.
No, they're not.
What works for Mel in her situation may not work in somebody else's dynamic.
Absolutely.
So we have to look at it and say, what's going to work for us? I often challenge families to and couples to look at the good that they can bring from what they saw in their parents, the good that this person can bring. And it doesn't exactly have to look like that, but now how can we make our own based upon
Start
the good?
your own legacy. Start your own legacy.
So we got family, we got finances, friendships, you know, friendships. We need to have the seminar.
You see, I'm listening,
Any friend that's an issue for the other person is an issue for the relationship.
It is. Cut and dry.
Cut and dry.
It is. It just is. Listen, we've got time for one more. I know the time is gone. Listen, you got to get the book. Why don't we do this? Why don't we just send you to the website, get the book. I'm Evangelist Melonie Pichon. I've been hosted today by Bishop Henry Ballard Jr. and his book, A Remedy for a Sick Heart. This is not the end of this. You've got to come back.
Yes, ma'am.
When you come back, we'll have answers. We will definitely have the who, what, when, where as to when we're going to do these seminars. Listen, thank you so much, family. We'll see you next week, same time.
Bless you.
It just ate up the time. It was a sucking wall. It just took all.